Money Green.
Shayz on the mic.
And we are
Lyrics and
lies.
Lyrics and
Lies.
Here's my number. Here's a dime. Call me Jerome. Man, anytime. Call me if you need someone to talk to. Call me. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call me if you need somebody to talk to, Fluffy.
That's what Jerome did and Martin when he met Pam in the bodega or the corner store. And he recited the words to the chorus of SKYY's Call Me.
yes.
Love that song. The group Sky had an unsung episode, and we got to get into it. And Shayz loved it. Shayz absolutely loved it, man.
I like Sky, and and when I listened to the songs, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all these songs. I remember, especially the lead singer. I remember her. I liked how that I found out that all three ladies were sisters, and they grew up in the same home, and singing is something that they wanted to do. They were singing in the mirror in the house together, and Denise always seemed to be the lead singer, so she was the lead. And they also met up with a fourth person, and they started singing at different talent shows.
Right. I never knew they were from New York.
Me either.
I never would have guessed. And they're from Brooklyn, of all places.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
I thought they were going to be from L.A., somewhere else in California, the Bay Area, or from Ohio. Because all the funk bands come from Ohio. Not all,
Ohio
but most
players.
of them. Ohio players, Lakeside. Roger Troutman and Zapp, Boosie's Rubber Band. I mean, it's just, funk is Ohio. Ohio is the funkiest place, and I never would have guessed that until finding that out about 10 years ago. But that's just the funkiest place on earth as far as birthing groups. So when they said Brooklyn, New York, I'm like, what?
Brooklyn.
Then I said with a band,
house.
I'm saying the band, or the Barcades too, Ohio. But I'm like the band has to be from somewhere else.
Nope.
All of them from New York.
All of them
from
New York.
Brooklyn. It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
And
In the basement.
and this is, I don't know. They definitely started out like a lot of groups started out in other unsung episodes.
That spaceship thing you talking about?
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about that. I'm just saying how they all came together and they had naive dreams or whatever. But they had the space age theme, or quote unquote gimmick, as one of the members said. Mm-hmm. And other people had that, because you had Parliament Funkadelic.
They had that. They had the spaceship.
And the mothership and all that kind of stuff. But this one seemed sophisticated. Well, it was sophisticated compared to Parliament.
Because it's sophisticated funk.
Sophisticated funk. But they were all dressed real sharp, but they still had the space outfits. Mm-hmm. They were just slick. They were polished. Whereas Parliament was all over the place. And they were organized. Parliament had no organization. Parliament's organization was disorganization.
Yeah, that's how they organized.
Right. And I guess the songs when they first came out they didn't sound disco to me. So I was wondering why they kept putting that into the episode.
Me too.
I'm like, no, it's not disco.
I wonder if it was because the funk part of the music, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't funky at first.
To me, no, it wasn't.
It had a little element here and there.
Yeah, but that's it.
But in those early hits that they had, I didn't realize. Like, I just heard those recently. Mm-hmm. Listening to Sirius XM, every now and then one of them songs would come on. I'm like, and I never put it together that was them. So they talk about the death of disco and all this kind of stuff, which always boggled me, that black people would allow all these white people to declare their genre of music dead. That always bothered me and puzzled me.
I didn't think about that.
I'm like, how you gonna let these rock and rollers tell you that your music ain't nothing, and then you fall for it?
Right.
You
And
know
you
what I'm
allow
saying?
it.
Yeah, you put allow the stigma to be on your genre of music, and then you stop supporting your own groups. Nevertheless, because out of that came Super Funk, which is Rick James, Prince, Morris Day and the Time and all that. So it's like it didn't die.
It just went dim for a second.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say funk, but it was like a disco type funk element. But anyway.
But I don't think they was a disco group, because if you think about all the hits they made, you know, they cracked them.
Well, that was before. They didn't have any major hits.
Right, but when they started getting major hits.
They were on the charts before
They
a little
was
bit.
on the charts.
Now, after the disco thing, they came out with, after the death of disco thing, they came out with a quote-unquote song that was funky, but that would have been a major disco hit if it came out.
You talking about the one with the
Call Me.
guy? Call Me.
That would have been a major disco hit if it came out during the disco era.
And they had a great, the girls, their harmony was so tight. They sounded really good when they sang together.
I like tight girls.
Their harmony was tight.
Well, let's talk about Call Me, because that I thought was their only hit. So let's talk about Call Me, because the song is the bomb. Mm-hmm. And we were babies when that song came out, but that song is the bomb. And I remember it playing on the radio or something. I didn't know what all that stuff meant, but it just sounded so good. And it still sounds good today. The music, the live instrumentation, everything is still the bomb. But I recently watched the video as an adult for the first time. Have you seen it?
I only saw the bits and pieces that they showed in Unsung.
You had to watch the entire video. Okay. It is so good. Okay. It's so 80s. Okay. You know how the 80s videos were from Billie Jean to everybody else. It is
Madonna and all them.
This is 80. You just look at it, it's like it makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Since we were babies back then, just looking at the styles, how the videos were done, these long sequences, because now you got all these cuts in videos normally. It was just, it's like back then they didn't have any major budgets, so you didn't have all these wardrobe people coming and giving you all these clothes. It was like they just said, look here, we're shooting a video. We're shooting a video on Saturday. Everybody come here, and everybody just comes in their own clothes. It's like everybody shows up in their own clothes to shoot an official video, and there's just no flow to how everybody dressed like they would now. Nowadays, everybody would be fancied up by a wardrobe tech or person or whatever, and everything will be sharp and flow, and the colors will be on point with the lights and the set. Everything will have to flow together nowadays. But back then, it was like, look here, we meeting Saturday, 6 o'clock, be there for our video. And they come in their own clothes and they do their thing. So this is interesting. Hair, everything. It's you know how the hair was back then. They just women put their own curling irons in there.
Well, yeah, she had her hair braided, you know.
Yeah.
Hers was braided, which braids has always been in style, no matter what decade of
With
era.
me,
braids
damn right with me. I love some braids.
Braids is always in.
And not the Kim Kardashian braids. I like the other kind of braids.
But I really liked the way this group gelled together and how they flowed and how they worked together. There was no fighting. Nobody felt that somebody was doing more than the other person, or Denise was the lead singer and everybody was okay with Denise being the lead singer.
At most points, she wasn't the lead.
It was like they were singing together.
It's like all three were singing together.
Right, and then the song that I forgot the gentleman's name wrote, it brought her out as lead.
Right.
So and I think the other sisters, as long as they were singing, I think that's all they cared about.
And they were cool with it.
They were cool with it. I mean, the guys were the musicians. Only that one time, that celebration song that Mike did. But other than
which one was that one? That was
a celebration song. I just know it was called "Celebrate" something. And that was the only time he led the song that they had one of the men in the group sung.
Okay.
Which was like, oh, okay, but the girls was like, they had their steps. They didn't just want to stand there. They wanted to make sure they did some kind of movement in all their songs. And
they eventually cut out the spaceship, outer space.
Yeah, because now they have arrived.
And they got.
So now that now they had to come. Okay, we're down to earth now.
They dropped that.
Yeah, drop that. Yeah, y'all know who we are now.
So after Call Me, because when I saw the video, I didn't know all the people in the video were the group members.
Yeah.
Now, but you got to see the video.
Yeah, but with the bits and pieces I saw that like when they was at the bar.
Right, but you just got to watch everything.
Okay.
But this part, of course, you know this part. The guy that she went after was a member of the group. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why they can let this dude come in here with his hair like that and be the lead or be the love interest of the woman, and his hair looking all jacked up. And but he's a member of the group, so it all made sense. But they ended up losing their deal, and they went years without recording or doing anything. It's like they just went back home, went back to New York, and somebody, I guess, may have stayed in LA, who knows. But then they picked back up
3 years later,
and they did this song Real Love.
Yeah.
And I never put together that Sky was the
same.
Call Me.
Oh.
I never put that together until Unsung. I just thought, don't be afraid.
I like that song too.
I didn't know that was them. I thought that was a woman, an individual artist. I did not know that was Sky. So when I saw that, I could have, like my grandmother would have said, you could have bought me for $1 or blow me down and call me Spot. My mouth just fell open. I was like, man, and it sounds that is the same voice that said, call me. That's her. And she still looked good, still like she wanted me to push up on her, and she wanted to give me a little bit of that thang. Let me taste that twang.
Okay.
And I make her sing.
It was another song, and I think I was singing it before you pushed play. I can't think. It was another song that they did that was a nice song. It was a ballad too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. How'd it go? You remember any of it?
Nah, cause you got that song is in my head now. Real Love is in my head now.
I'm not the one that hurt you. It's real love. Oh, you got Start of a Romance.
That's it. Start of a Romance. That was the song.
Now, Real Love is the one
song.
where the guy came out and said a few words and the lady's going crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you.
So Start of a Romance was a nice song too.
Speaking of that, when you say he came out and said that one part, he said, "I'm yours,"
and they all
I'm gonna talk to somebody
and see if it works.
I'm gonna roll the Erykah Badu.
But let me know if it works.
Erykah Badu will kick me in my ass.
Let me see if it works.
But speaking of that, I remember in the late '90s going to see After 7. It was a Whispers concert, but After 7 was there. And the light skinned member, the third member who never does really say anything.
Never really sings the
Right.
cousin.
So you got the Edmonds brothers, and then you got the cousin. He had one bar, and This Is How I Feel. And it was a certain group of women that just loved him. And that was interesting, and that draws me back to make me think of Drew Hill when I talk about jazz and No Kill and Woody. Mm-hmm. Somebody is there for you.
Yeah, it is.
Because when that guy from After 7 said, I see the little tears in your eyes start to fall, that's all he said the entire concert. But when he said, I see the little, there were about 20 women that just went crazy, and these were screams that you didn't hear the entire show. Because the entire show you could hear one steady, consistent sound, nice, smooth sound, and when that dude said that, you hear that different ones, and then the show went back to the regular sound.
But if you think about groups, period, there is somebody that's going to like somebody in a group that the other person might not care for.
Thank you.
So I'll put out there New Edition, because New Edition is the biggest, group per se back in the times.
Back in the 80s,
growing up in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the time when everybody was, I loved New Edition. I went to the New Edition concert. I had New Edition outfit, clothes, everything. When my person, I like Ralph, but I didn't like Ralph like that. Ralph wasn't my main person.
Who was your main person?
My main person was the businessman. Michael Bivins.
Michael Bivins?
Michael Bivins was my second person, and I liked Bobby Brown at that time.
So Bobby Brown was your first?
So it's well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Mike was really first until Bobby Brown went on his own and did My Prerogative.
So New Edition.
So when New Edition, it was Michael Bivins.
Right.
But when Bobby Brown left, I played that My Prerogative, A Truth About a Roni.
But hold
She's
on.
a sweet old girl. I played it to death.
I gotta test you now. I gotta question you. My bad. Not test you. I gotta question you. That wasn't Bobby Brown's first album.
But yeah, Bobby Brown had The Girl Next Door.
King of Stage.
And
So how did
King
you
of-
feel? Which is really the I Need a Girlfriend album.
I Need a Girlfriend.
So was Bobby? He wasn't on your. He didn't surpass Michael Bivins on the first album.
No, I just told you when My Prerogative came out.
So that's when you made the.
That's when I made the switch. My
All right.
Prerogative, Every Little Step You Take, Tenderoni, all that. I
wanna
shoot for Boda
ride with
Roni.
you,
She's a
lady.
sweet old girl. About the sweetest
All
little girl
night
in the whole
long.
wide world. She's, all that. That was, I was there for him. I was there for that. My Prerogative, when he did the dance on the stage, that boy can dance. Bobby Brown, he was an entertainer.
They were grooving.
He was grooving.
And you
When
know
he
whose
did
song that
Every Little
was?
Step I Take, and he did them steps.
But My Prerogative, you know whose song My Prerogative was originally
Teddy
for?
McRae.
It was originally Guy. Aaron Hall sung that song.
Oh well, I think Bobby, the way Bobby did it was good.
Yeah, because you never heard Aaron's.
Right, Aaron probably would have did good.
So-
but I think even though even though Aaron's voice is way better than Bobby Brown's, but sometimes it's not about how your voice is on a song.
Right.
It is about how your voice is, and you might have the best voice, but it might not be good for that song.
Okay,
I think Bobby Brown's voice was good for My Prerogative because I think it fit him because of when he came out of New Edition and he wanted to be this man. He wanted to be the king of pop or whatever. That's what the name that was given to him by his ex-wife.
On the second album.
I think he empowered My Prerogative. He owned it.
Bad boy.
If you thought about, anytime people think about a song, that's the first thing you think of is that groove.
The Bad Boy.
My Prerogative.
That's Teddy Riley hitting them keyboards. Because he still produced a song. Teddy Riley still produced a song. But Aaron Hall, that was Guy's song.
Was supposed to sing that song.
And what's wild is, I think a couple of the hits for Guy's second album, My Prerogative, and a few other songs were supposed to be on Guy's first album. They had all these songs, and all of them couldn't fit. So just imagine they put because My Prerogative could have been on the first album, the first Guy album. So just imagine that was on there. Man, Guy would have that album would be an instant classic. But hold on. Bobby came up there when he found out about Teddy and met Ted, and came up and Ted gave him the address, and he walked up there on his own in New York. But he asked Teddy Riley, what you got for me? You got anything for me? And he said, well, we got My Prerogative, because I don't think he wrote it by himself. So Aaron Hall sung it. Teddy Riley played it, and Aaron Hall sung it to Bobby Brown. And Bobby Brown said, okay, can I get that? And he was like, yeah, you can have it. It's gonna cost you, but you can have it. So at that point, Aaron Hall was like, hey, that's your song, see what you can do with it. And Bobby sung it right then and there on the spot in the bathroom. So yeah, Aaron Hall could easily, had that for Guy.
But I don't know if he would have got as much fan base off of that. And today we can ask, just like you was telling me about Prince. Prince wrote a lot of songs for other people, and Prince did an album that had him singing all his songs that he wrote for other people, right? But as you was listening to Prince sing them, and Prince probably sung them great. But when you think about it, it's like, dang, that did fit that person. That song did fit that person.
Glamorous Life.
Yeah,
Manic Monday.
That fit Sheila E.
But I tell you what, I don't think this is just about, because you said it fit Bobby's voice. I don't think. And it did fit Bobby's voice, but hold on.
Bobby's persona of who he was trying, of what he was trying to display as an artist. Now I'm not gonna say,
did.
Yeah,
Hold on,
I'm
it definitely
not saying
did.
that Guy probably couldn't easily finesse that song I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I
Aaron
think
Hall. I'm gonna tell you what made it though.
I think the presentation came to me better from Bobby.
But not just the song. I'm saying the video. The video of what Bobby Brown did, because doing a song is one thing. Just like Billie Jean sounded real good, but then when you see that video and all the stuff he was doing, that set Michael apart from everything. And then Thriller came on top of that and just blew everything out. But that presentation in the video, like you said, Bobby, because Don't Be Cruel came out, people was like, oh, okay, all right, that's more mature than I Need a Girlfriend and Girl Next Door, okay. And then, you know what I'm saying, they was like, don't be, I would never be that. Oh, that's cool.
And he had a little rap on there.
He got the leather coat, he got the fast car, okay, that's cool. And then when My Prerogative came out in the elevator and all that kind of stuff, and it was real, see, look at you, see? And it was real serious. And then you got the headpiece microphone as opposed to singing with the lavalier or a handheld microphone. And then you had the constant dancing. He never did that before. Constant dancing. And then all the grooving. Then the crowd going crazy. It was a real intimate venue. All the grooving. And then you had the people playing the instruments, but everything was close.
Yeah.
And he just destroyed the dancers.
He did.
That set him
that did.
apart from everything.
Then,
but if it was just
other people use that.
Right, but if it was just a song,
You know.
it would have just been a hit song. That song, oh, that's good. But that presentation of that video, and then at the end, did a little spin, grabbed the girls, walked
And went
back
out the
to
door.
it. Man, yeah.
So
that made people say, because he brought swagger.
He did.
That was the first. I'm trying to think, because when Whitney was saying the original King of R&B, Michael Jackson didn't have swag. Nobody has. To me, I can't think of anybody who had swag before Bobby Brown.
Nobody.
You had people that were smoother. You had people that were cooler. You had people that could dance better. You had all these different things.
But
Bobby had something different because he had the youthfulness and he had the attitude like, I don't give a damn.
That's right. And that's in the song.
And I don't. And I can talk to girls, and I can lust with girls, and I can grab on girls, and I can let girls touch on me. Michael Jackson wouldn't dare do that. As well as Michael Jackson can dance and all that, certain things he wouldn't do. He
just like certain things Prince wouldn't do.
Well, Prince couldn't do hip hop.
No.
Bobby Brown was hip hop.
More hip hop,
right. So Bobby just opened up a whole new can of worms, and he actually, quote unquote, delivered a new genre. If you think about it, all by himself. I'll Be Sure almost did. He almost did. Just a couple of years earlier, everything he brought, it was almost. And then Bobby came.
Bobby exploded.
Shut
he exploded on the scene. He did.
Yeah,
he gave it up.
He shut things down.
So back to
we talking about Sky. Tag, my bad.
Back to Sky.
They were on the charts when Bobby Brown was on the charts.
Right. So the point that we're making is that it's all in the presentation and delivery of the song. I mean, if you think about how many songs that people might have passed up that should have sung the song and they were thinking that it wouldn't work. I think, to me, it's a blessing in disguise. Okay, well, you passed it up, let me take that song and soar with it. Some people soared with the song that they got that was passed over by somebody else. Maybe for real, you supposed to have that song. That's how I see it.
I know.
I think that's who you supposed to have that song.
But
what I liked about Sky is that group was a tight group. No one argued and fought over money or royalties or whatever. It was an equal opportunity group, and they made that known at the beginning of the group that everybody was equal and had a role to play. And if you had something to make the song sound better, then you contributed to it. And so that's how it worked in that group. I was sorry that they didn't have a deal at the end, and they thought that a deal might come, and it didn't. Because I was thinking they put out at least 9 hits, and they all were
was
like,
it real 9? Here's to you.
And they all was like, I mean, the first one was number 24.
Here's to
but
you.
after that, they were like 9, 2. I think one of the songs was number 1 for a little while. So, I mean,
what's his name was number 1? Call Me.
Call Me was number 1. But my thing is they had hit songs that was at least on the top 25, which is good during that time frame. And I don't know if the girls, the 3 girls, the sisters, do still sing together, and they still do the songs.
Now that's good.
Tour.
That's good.
They still tour.
Because a lot of people break up. Like you see Climax, it's now 2 different groups. as powerful as they are to all women. But Sky, the women just went off on themselves and started doing things as the ladies of Sky, and the men supported.
Right.
The men are like, cool.
And they made it so that it wouldn't be like, I'm Sky and we're taking over. The ladies of Sky.
Right.
You know, I thought that was a nice twist to put on it. Yeah, we are from Sky, but it's just us, just the ladies from Sky.
Yeah,
because they still wanted to sing and they still wanted to be out here.
Yeah, that's nice.
I thought that was a good twist on it. I really enjoyed that group and how this was a refresher of what you usually see when it's a group, and that was a big group. It was like 3 ladies and 6 men. So what was it, 9 people in that group?
It was 9, almost 8, around 8.
Yes, 9 or 8 people in that group, and didn't really argue and stuff.
That's true. And this is one of the only unsungs you see where the group actually got along throughout.
Yeah, throughout, and still to this day are cordial and talk to each other and check on each other.
They were having hits, and right after their biggest hit, or their biggest hit in years, Real Love, the label came and said, all right, we're gonna switch things up. And that's some messed up stuff. You're like, how you gonna switch things up when everything is hitting on the money right now? So I don't know, that's just weird to me.
I know stuff started to change, music started to change, but they didn't want to add rap to this. So, I mean, that's not who they were.
Yeah, but they also took away their live instruments.
Yeah, they did.
And made them do studio stuff. So that was kind of weird. It's like everything is working out fine, and now y'all gonna go ahead and try to switch up what we doing.
Right. I mean, so I really want to commend, and I like the Unsung on Sky. So please check out Sky on Unsung on TV1 on Sundays.
And check out Bobby Brown's video for My Prerogative.
Yes! Woo!
All right, y'all. That's it for us. We are Lyrics and Lies.
Everybody's talking.
And we do nothing but tell the truth on Lyrics and Lies.
You got that right.
I'm Money Green.
And I'm Shayz on the mic. And we are out.